Commission meeting is called to order on Thursday, November 2nd, 2023 at 7 o'clock p.m. Now, can we have a moment of silence to send our positive thoughts and prayers to those in our community that need our support? And now please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bryson.
Here.
Commissioner Hendrick.
Here.
Commissioner Clausen.
Here.
Commissioner Rory.
Here.
Commissioner Ross.
Here.
Mayor Vandenbosch.
Here.
City Manager Atkins.
Here.
Okay. And can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Support.
Okay. Motion and a support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. And our item 5, presentations, proclamations, and recognitions. We have a presentation tonight from Thrus and Vanderbrink on the Safe Drinking Water Program presentation.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Gary Bartow with Thrus and Vandenbrink. I'm the regional manager, and we are here tonight to do a presentation on the Safe Drinking Water Program, and the DWSRF is what it is called. I'd like to introduce our team that's here. Mike Vanderplug is with our process group. He'll be running the water treatment plant upgrades. We have Chris Hennessy is our grants guru expert that works with our firm. He's one of my partners that we work around the state. And then Rick Parker will be the project manager from our office here. And then Rick will do the presentation. Once we do the presentation, we'll ask for questions, and then we'll just have a question and answer session. So great. We appreciate the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you again. Rick Parker with Thrus and Vandenbrink. The 2024 project is what we're talking about tonight for the DW Drinking Water SRF. The project scope itself for the water system improvements, this would include water main replacement and looping throughout the city, water storage tower upgrades, lead service line replacements, water treatment upgrades, SCADA controls, which stands for supervisory control and data acquisition. And it gives the ability to monitor and control remotely from anywhere. The estimated project costs that were submitted for the ITA and then alluded to the funding by Eagle, $26 million. You can kind of see the breakdowns here. Not getting into a lot of detail with it, but you can see you've got about $14 million in water main replacement, $3.2 million in lead service lines, water treatment plant upgrades about $1.2 million, $500,000 for water treatment plant, corroded pipes, filter media about $350,000, lift pump and control replacement $250,000. So there's some other miscellaneous here that add up to another $250,000 for a total project of $22,000. And then you have engineering and legal about $4.3. Total project cost $26 million. It should be noted that the city ranked 27 out of 203 applicants and scored 90 points out of 100, which led them to receive the $26 million. Yeah, it's an A+. It's an A+. The state awarded a total of $72 million grants and loans and distributed bill dollars to 60 communities. As an overburdened community, this provided funding in the form of a 50% grant and then a low interest loan at 2% over 40 years. If we look at it as a whole, again, the breakdowns, $11.4 million for the grant, and then you had bill money forgiveness of $1.6 million, a total of 13. The bill loan and the DWSRF loan, again, equaled 13 million. So what this equates to for 2,650 residential equivalency units is about $15 a month, okay? It should be noted that this money and the interest rate is very competitive when you look at the USDA rates and the bonds right now, because they're at about 3.125% and 3.875. So the 2% that SRF is funding at right now for the interest rate is very good. The proposed project we're looking at right now, a Q4 is what they call it. Design engineering starting as early as this month, environmental assessments, looking at bidding the project in May of 2024, and then going through all of the Part 3 application submissions with Eagle, and loan closing is sometime in August, and then the funding becomes available shortly after that. And then construction can start as early as October, November of next year. The water main installation itself, when we look at the components, we're looking at about 38,000 feet of 8-inch and 12-inch lines. And this was replacing 4-inch and 6-inch that are old. Yep, I got another slide here that'll allude to the ages of them. So this is a good thing for the community. Lead service line replacements, this is from the new mains to inside the structures. Associated components that are also upgraded during this project would be pavement replacement for the roads, sidewalks, any curbs and gutters that are impacted, and then lawn restoration. The water tower improvements, we're looking at a mixer for the city, and then there was some things identified by Eagle as far as a drain inlet and splash plate is what they call it for the overflow. So we'll take care of those items. The water main replacement itself, if you take a look at the map, you guys have a pretty big city, so it looks small in this. So you can see the orange is an 8-inch line. The purple on the screen and in front of you is a 12-inch line. And then you can see that it's noted as a loop. That means we're going to connect 2 dead-end lines right now and improve the water system for quality anytime you can loop the water mains. Again, we were talking about the age of some of these lines that we're replacing as part of that, 38,000 feet. They date back to 1949. So this is a good thing to, get those undersized lines replaced and brought up to standards. We talked about some of the incidentals, just some of the pictures around the community. We live in Michigan, this happens. Some of this will be taken care of as part of the project because the water main is going to be placed in the roads, and we'll take care of this. It'll be a new road and curbs as we go through. The design components of the water treatment plant and the system upgrades, there was an Eagle administrative consent order, they call it an ACO. They identified several items in there that needed to be upgraded and taken care of. So as part of that ACO, we would take a look at the structural repairs, replace corroded piping, filter media replacement, new lift pumps and controls, again, and then clean and recoat the reservoir, new rapid mixer, and again, the SCADA controls to monitor remotely. The benefits and some of the positive impacts, the water system and its reliability will be improved upon. Reduction in maintenance, elimination of lead service lines. We all know the health hazards with that. Increased water pressure, and then safe, high-quality drinking water will continue. So this little snippet here is something that happened to, unfortunately, the community a little bit ago, and I don't know if it'll play, but you can see the video playing. This was a water main break that went into one of the storm structures. And you can see that water playing. And, I think someone gave us a measurement on what gallon per minute you guys were losing when that water main broke. So hopefully we'll take and address some of these items.
That was the number one main on
Yes.
the list to be replaced.
Correct. It already was compromised and broke, so they had to do an emergency repair.
That is one of the ones to be replaced.
Yep. Any questions? No, you're good.
Yeah, I've got a few.
Okay.
I know it says you're going to eliminate the lead, you're also going to do the galvanized line.
Yes,
going
lead and
into-
galvanized service lines.
And then on this particular break, the reason why I understand it couldn't be found was because it went right into a storm drain. It went right to the river.
Yeah,
So. and it's
yeah.
a lot of
They
water.
heard it, they saw it. I mean, something to opened up that manhole and,
The SCADA would help with that, right? Because it would have alerted somebody.
Correct.
It'd be able to remotely
Absolutely.
understand where
Yep.
it was. Right, exactly.
they would have gotten an alert that there's flow that's happening that shouldn't be.
Yeah, that was massive flow.
Yeah.
a while back, the city did a study to combine our water plant with East China. And we looked at that and everything. If we do these upgrades, then I'm assuming that shouldn't be necessary? I mean, to consider that
Yeah.
anymore?
No, it's the regional, that was part of the regional thing that we looked at, right? No, that would not be.
Okay, so that's,
In the project plan submitted to Eagle, if I can just mention, there was certain alternatives that were looked at. There were, I think, 4 alternatives. One of them was combining the system,
yeah,
and the cost to do that was more.
Yep.
And Eagle recognized that, which is obviously why
okay.
you scored so high and funded, that the cost to do that was more than fixing and updating.
What we have, okay. How, when you do the section, will it be done like in sections?
Yeah,
Prob-
typically they'll obviously start in one location and then they kind of move in one direction. Usually there's crews that will overlap and, and then they go behind and, get a certain amount of roads taken care of, ready for paving, and then they'll go back in, clean those up, finish them up.
So you're saving, as far as this goes, and when we have to pay it back, you're saying the average cost is only gonna be $15 per month per
40 years
Per residential
per
house.
resident?
for an REU, yeah. Yeah, so depending on, commercial properties sometimes have a little bit higher REU than a residence, so it's usually one resident is one REU.
And I know this will make a big difference too for our fire department, because some of these lines are so low that you have trouble, don't you?
Yeah, firefightings would definitely be improved.
Correct,
As
so
far as the ability
that'll
to
help
fight
us
fire.
there.
Yeah, more hydrants, new hydrants will be placed as part of this.
The right height hydrants? Okay.
We'll
Well,
talk about
then-
what right height means, but yeah.
We have one that's,
Well, you get a lot of snow up here.
Right.
And, new fittings on the hydrants too, my understanding that, so when we have to bring in mutual aid and different departments, different trucks fittings, everybody will be able to
Yeah,
connect
storage, which
on
are the,
storage
yep,
fittings.
yep.
And the pressure just is related, if you saw on that one chart, you have 4-inch lines.
Yeah.
Those are gonna move to 8 and 12, which
yeah.
Increases the capacity.
obviously it's.
How much more pressure would the citizens get?
Oh, I,
Estimate.
You wouldn't see a dramatic increase
For a
in
resident.
pressure, but what you'll see is when people that have, the smaller 4-inch diameter mains,
Right.
you get a lot of usage, your pressure will drop. You won't see that drop in pressure.
it'll
So
stay
it'll be a
consistent.
Consistent pressure throughout the city.
One last thing, I know, Commissioner Clausen lives down on the end of North Marion. I don't see this going all the way down. There's a dead end down at his end, and I know you're doing loops, but I don't see that one in here. It's the end of here, and there's nothing showing here. That's just past, Mabel, is where that loop is, Bill?
Yeah, there's a shut-off that goes directly bypass for East China and us. If we have to empty our tower, then we'll get water from them, and that's always kept shut off. But
Yeah.
but it is
And I
actually a
think
dead
that's
end.
something that we can look at, we can get
Yeah.
DPW, and if there's some additional recommendations
Okay,
that are required, we can certainly add that into the project.
okay,
And all
so,
your inspections are done by third party,
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
down here.
third-party inspections,
for,
when they do the digging and
well,
tearing up.
yeah, we will be out here doing that.
Oh.
We will be out here looking, we will have our, RPR inspector out here, observer, that will monitor and make sure things are done per plans and specs.
Yeah, the compaction and everything is
Yes,
back to where it's
absolutely.
supposed to be.
Yes,
okay. So, yeah, you might want to get with Bill. He can tell you where that one is.
absolutely.
Yeah, and this is a residential area, so I mean, you have things like, they call it directional drilling, that kind of thing, you basically.
All right, that's all my questions.
I thought the goal was to not put water down to Bill.
You're sending the dirt down to me now, so.
Wasn't that part of the proposal?
Yeah, I just want to say this is just a godsend for this community. I mean, we've been praying every day that we don't blow a big main. Every time we have one of these major things, we have to worry about one of those mains collapsing, so finally, everybody's been complaining about the roads and stuff. We finally will get that mess fixed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, to say this is a
Project
very
that-
positive thing for the
Yeah.
community is an understatement.
That
This is very
undetected
positive.
flow that you showed, the little video of,
Yeah.
what was that costing?
Oh,
Just so the folks know that.
Slightly over 1 million gallons,
yeah,
flowing through 500 gallons a minute.
Yeah.
Whatever your rate is,
Yeah.
Right.
You multiply it by the rate, right?
Yep.
It's a significant dollar.
Right.
And we were fortunate, again, if you can call it fortunate in this case, that we have our own water plant, that we do the
Right.
filtration and production here. If we were relying on being in an authority or another municipality, we'd have been paying a bill, significant bill, to that authority or municipality.
My-
For every
my-
gallon,
my
correct.
My experience with Great Lakes Water Authority was they would not have cut you a break.
Yeah, I think our experiences have not been great with
Right.
said group, so.
Right,
Yeah.
so,
We don't do any work for Great Lakes Water.
all right, all right.
Wow.
Yes, I understand. We get it.
This is just wonderful.
Yeah.
Mayor, if I can make a comment, I think this is a beneficial comment to say too. When we're looking at, and these gentlemen have put together this proposal and the plan, and we've looked at pricing, keep in mind that every year as we go through the budgeting process, and I believe we have an obligation as a city to look at any way of offsetting and lowering those costs. So as we have additional building that's coming in, we have new homes, we have other building, then the total number increases, which means the total number of REUs increases.
Right.
The number of that dollar amount could come down if we can offset with additional grants that may become possible, or offset our operational costs by doing shifting. And before the meeting, I was having a little conversation with these gentlemen. They said, for example, if we're not having as many water breaks and issues, we've been budgeting for all of those.
Yeah.
So we can reallocate within our water and sewer budget to help offset and lower that cost for our residents. And that's something that we have an obligation to do and should do. And I mean, I know we've been spending a lot of money on plant, costs. And again, we have an administrative order here that without this opportunity, that's all on our dime with no assistance. So there's a return of savings that we can then be able to calculate and pass back, reducing that REU charge to folks. And that's our obligation to do that.
You guys should be looking at this during every budget season going
Yes.
forward, including your maintenance allocation, which should be going down.
Yep.
Take a look at other ways to allocate money into this program as you do your budget process.
Just the two requests I'd have are that we, maybe monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, something, but we do re-review, as we go forward. Maybe based on the timeline that was presented in here, right? That's a perfect way to do it. That we ensure that we see the maps, to do things like make sure that at the connections between East China and our system, that those, because it's effectively a loop, right?
Yeah.
But not when they're closed, then it becomes a dead end, right? So I think that's the concern. So anyway, just that, as things come out, that we're made aware, able to review, and, inform the public. Because I think that they'd be very, very, very curious about just, not that anything nefarious is happening, just to, be able to see the progress as it goes.
Yeah.
I think that they would
We
be
can come as
exceedingly
often as
excited
needed.
about that.
And we'll be in close contact with the team through the process,
Will you be
developing
doing
plans.
reporting? I guess maybe.
Regular
that's-
progress reports are included. Right.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
Okay.
Can be every month. Yep.
and then again, administratively, it's our responsibility, and Right. speaking with, Katie Posey, our Treasurer Finance Director, this is a top priority for us when this project is done and through the budget, to continually look at reviewing and reassessing those costs with the thought of being able to do as much as we can as a city body to keep those costs lowering and being responsible. And we feel that this work, again, there's a history that you guys have looked at, and that cost that we've had for just the maintenance, that certainly should have a significant drop. And then the extra pieces that are added into this that we are starting to be able to, by virtue of this project, address sidewalk and accessibility issues and streets, roads. The majority of the city, these mains are in areas where we have terrible street conditions.
Right.
Be thankful that the infrastructure is under those roads instead of off into the right-of-ways, because in order to get to it, you've got to remove the road and dig, and you've got to put it back afterwards, so.
So would the new mains be placed in an easement as opposed to right back under the road, or?
It would go in the road.
It would still go in the road, just?
That's the
yeah.
best place for them.
Okay,
And
with that said, like Scott said, is we put it in the road, we got leads, we're gonna put new sewer leads in, or not, water leads to all the structures, you're gonna get a new street on top of it.
Right.
All of those areas where we put a new water main, you'll have a new street.
Right.
And there is a savings component too, Commissioner, also. I think it's important. I know through the process, they looked at relocating as an option. In some cases, we did not have additional easement. So to go into private properties, we have to pay to acquire. So this was a cost-responsible way to use our existing
Sure.
portion too.
Okay.
Can we
Our
make,
main, pardon, go ahead.
can we make sure that this gets posted on?
On the web. It will be on the web.
Okay.
These gentlemen have sent a link, and I'm just working out a communication issue of getting a quick download, but it'll be there. It'll also be included with the minutes as a record, so it'll be online in a couple of different places.
All right, great.
And thank you to CTV, who, as we're working and recording this, as you can see, was also shown here, that will become portion of the meeting as well. So.
And are we going with ductile iron or plastic, or with what's the mains gonna be?
Is we'll bid it out, both ductile iron and PVC, but PVC will probably be the preferred material.
Yeah, it's more competitive right now from a pricing standpoint, and it's just as durable.
Availability.
And, well, I know of one area but it's private, and it's paper pipe.
Oh.
Remember when they did that?
Those are dirty words there. Careful.
God, great.
Anything else?
Great, good presentation.
Well, thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Moving on to item 6, public comment. Anyone is welcome to address the city commission. Please state your name, limit your comments to 5 minutes. Commission will not respond, will follow up as necessary. And again, please remind everybody to focus your comments here to the commission and to me. Anybody like to speak?
Mark Posey, 838 South 4th Street. I'm all for your little project here, but you're missing, you got some bad information or something. Because I know for a fact there's a 2-inch main on Bruce Street. There's a 2-inch main on South 4th Street. And fire hydrant at the end of Carroll at the city limits is totally useless. And that was not included in your map.
Thanks,
Thank
Mark.
you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else?
Rosalie Squires, 211 Michigan. And there were some things I wanted to say, but because circumstances have changed yesterday, I want to talk about something else. First, I want to offer my heartfelt sympathy and condolences to Commissioner Rita Rourke and Lisa Hendricks on the loss of their mother. And I want to use this time, and I hope I don't run out of it before I say what I'd like to say, to talk about their mother. First of all, I want to talk about in the past, people have talked about transparency, how we have no transparency. Well, that's very laughable, because one of the things is Rita Rourke, that just passed away, was very instrumental in causing there to be transparency. I mean, she's the one that got the commissioner meetings on cable, and she used to film herself for a while. And then she, now the packets online, it wasn't online for a long time. In fact, her and I, for many, many, many years, would get the packet together. We'd share the costs, and it was $0.25 a sheet. It was a lot of money. And then I'd go pick the packet up, I'd give it to Rita. Rita was very picky. She had to copy it on a certain paper, and she wanted a certain paper clip. She never let me give her these expensive paper clips back because she wanted me to learn how to use them. See, they're smiling. It's the truth. And we did that for years. I mean, years. It was a small fortune. I could have some nice rings right now if I didn't pay for those packets. Yeah. So anybody that talks about lack of transparency, we're more transparent than we've ever ever been, ever been. And it's because of Rita. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Second thing is that one time she called me, and there was somebody running for senator that was a state legislator, and his mother died, and she knew his mother, and I knew him. And she said, look, you got to go to that funeral, and you've got to go right when the visiting starts, because his mother was very active in community service, and she never tooted her horn. I have a lot of respect for her. She never tooted her horn. But that was Rita, too. She never tooted her horn. And so, I went, and then she said, go to the funeral. And, honestly, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But it turned out for him it was a really big deal, that somebody was there as soon as the doors opened, and that they also came to the funeral. So it was really a big deal for him. So she was really right on in what she said. But, she just never tooted her horn. And, when you look at her life, in 1920, women got the right to vote. She was born in 1925. I mean, that these women even want to be involved in politics is a miracle, because their mother really walked a hard road. I mean, women accepted in politics just wasn't a fashionable thing at that time. And like she always said, thank God she had big kids, because she was on the school board and they got beat up a lot. And thank God they were big enough to take it. And then there was a flood here, there was flooding, and she used all her 6 kids to fill sandbags. I mean, they had loving parents, but they worked really hard because their mother was on these boards. And then sometimes the boards actually got violent. Bullying wasn't, something that was not popular at that time. And I know, they were scared sometimes because they thought their mother was going to end up beat up. So it was really a hard go. And that these women in retirement age even want to say, well, I guess I'll still give my life to public service. I mean, you'd think that they'd want to say, I've had enough. My mother was in it. We've done our share. But, that they're still doing it is quite a miracle. And the last story I want to talk about is I had an extra ticket for a fundraiser for Candace Miller. I was friends with Congresswoman Candace Miller. And so Rita wanted to go, and I picked her up. And so she walked in first, and everybody knew her. And Congresswoman Miller had been a supervisor at Harrison Township. And it turned out that whenever she needed advice as a supervisor, she called Rita. And, that was really pretty cool. And then as a result of that, one time they called me and they said, look, all Candace is in Washington and all our aides are busy, but Fred Moore, the Fred Moore son of Fred Moore Highway, had died, and they wanted me to represent Candace at the funeral. And that was really cool. I mean, it was kind of like an in. At the time in my life, I was very flattered. I mean, I really thought it was cool that I could go do that. And, it was all because of Candace, and rather, all because of Rita. And last thing I want to say is, they want books given to the library in her name. And today I went to the used book sale, and I saw in a book here, it says Compliments of the Community Fund, and somebody named Donald Berman, it was for him. And I'm hoping that somehow we could do something like that. I know not through the Community Foundation, but that something with Rita's name could be on here, because this book was from 2004, so you figure it's almost 20 years old, and it's still going to have more life. And it'd be cool, like particularly children's book, because she did have 6 children, and she represented children as a school board member. I mean, these books would live on with her name for who knows how many years. That maybe that could be arranged in that library fund. But I wish my condolences, and you certainly should be very, very proud of your mother, and you really are walking on the shoulder of a giant. Thank you.
Thanks, Rosalie.
Anybody else?
Good evening, Sean O'Brien. I guess 3rd time's the charm. I've come up before you now. This is the 3rd time. Maybe a different light today. I would like to inform this body and the public at large that I've applied for the vacant seat of commissioner. Based on my principles, I deeply believe in democracy. I'm always a little weirded out when these positions are filled via appointment instead of an election. There's a process for this, though. when you have a vacancy, how you get it filled timely. And I understand how this is. And so I wanted to put myself a little bit before the public. Elections involve scrutiny. I am completing my PhD at Wayne State University in American labor history. This puts me into the archives regularly. I spend way too much of my life looking at legal documents, court cases, judicial decisions, the process therein. It's important for how American law and systems and governance have changed and developed over time. It's something very close to my heart that I take very passionately. I spend most of my time doing various forms of labor activism. I'm involved in a national body. I've been managing a nonprofit C3 branch of it for some time before that. I did some national legislative lobbying and designing around higher education. I think it's important that we as a body are kind of considerate of those who are coming up after us, the next generation of mariners. It's an increasingly diverse body. There's challenges of representation and articulation of their voice and presence, and that's something that I'm also interested in representing. Importantly, when I was 18, I got to vote in my first national election. Quite a few of us around 2008 were really excited. There was a lot of political energy at that time. And I mentioned, to my father, my positions, what I was excited to do. And he goes, well, what do you think about some of these local issues? And to my everlasting shame, I said, I don't really care. I'm going up to Northern Michigan University. I'm leaving. It's not my business. And he has this way about him where he kind of took a moment, looked at me and goes, well, what about me? I'm sticking in the area. And what about your siblings and their kids? And if you know the O'Briens, there's a lot of us running around with a lot of next generation ones coming up. And he goes, we're all in the area, and your wife's family's in the area, and do you not care about what happens to them? And it was this light switch moment, and I'm really happy it happened to me at 18 and not any later. But the sincere importance and gravitas of local governance and what happens here. National politics are quite divisive. We've got a lot of disinformation and confusion going on, and we're about to enter another upswing of an election cycle, and that'll surely be confusing at that time as well. But these local issues are very important. They impact every mariner's lives every day. The accessibility of these streets, of these roads, the clean water, everything that you're talking about today is something I'm deeply passionate about. I would like to end this brief monologue and introduction of myself with a call for public action. While this is not an election, mariners here do have a voice. Please, please speak up. All of you out there in the city right now, please contact this board, this commission, the city workers, the offices via email, phone call, stop on in. If you know somebody, not just me, if you know somebody who's applied for this position, speak up on their behalf. Advocate for them and make a case as to why they would be a good appointment to this position. If you don't know somebody running, please still speak up and explain what you would like to see in a commissioner and why we need that sort of person up here. This is really important that I think that we start getting clearer conversation, as there's been too much muddying of waters and problems in the past here that I think affect too many of us. It's not enough to say this online. You need to contact these city leaders directly as much as possible. With that, thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Thanks. Anybody else? Okay. Moving on to number 7, for approval of the minutes. I have a motion to approve the City Commission meeting minutes of October 19th, 2023.
So moved.
Support?
Okay, motion and a support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Can I have a motion to approve City Commission special meeting minutes of October 16th, 2023?
So moved.
Support?
Yeah, the motion and the support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that carries. On to item 8, the consent agenda. In our consent agenda tonight, we have the TIFA board meeting minutes of October 18th, 2022, the TIFA board meeting minutes of January 17th, 2023, the TIFA board meeting minutes of April 11th, 2023, the Tifa Board meeting minutes of July 18th, 2023, the Pension Board meeting minutes of July 25th, 2023, the Pension Board Retiree Healthcare meeting minutes of July 25th, 2023, the 300 Broadway Committee meeting minutes of September 25th, 2023, the Historical Commission meeting minutes of April 11th, 2023. We have a special event permit for the Marine City Area Chamber of Commerce Maritime Christmas. We have a business license for AS Nagai Incorporated, also known as Corner Grocery. Business license for Amy's Relation to Creation and Botanicals, LLC. Business license for Erase of Mind Counseling, PLLC.
Ease.
Oh, Ease. Ease of Mind Counseling, PLLC.
No mind erasing.
Yes, no mind erasing. And the final one is the Michigan Liquor Control Commission local approval for Two Rivers Winery LCC brewer's license. And can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda, items A through M, as presented?
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda, items A through M, with the removal of H, just because I found a typo.
Support.
All right, I have a motion and a support. Any further discussion?
Just one question. Is it supposed to be LCC or LLC?
LLC. Limited Liability Company.
I realize that. I just wanted to make sure from
You're correct.
the horse's mouth itself. Okay.
Okay. Okay, any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Bryson?
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Rourke?
Yes.
Commissioner Ross?
Yes.
Mayor Vandenbosch?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, now to item 9, items removed from consent agenda. So now we have the item 8H, the Historical Commission meeting minutes of April 11th, 2023.
Yeah. Sorry, Jason. The absent person was Sue Jenkin rather than Keith. That's all. I can get the page for you.
No, I got it.
But you know which one, right?
Yes.
Keith's on planning.
Yes.
Sue is on historical. I get it.
All right, no further discussion. Then could I get a motion to approve with that correction?
Make them.
So moved.
Support.
Okay, motion and support. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that carries. On to item 10, financial business. Under A, expenditures, that's including payroll, of $522,611.88. I have a motion to approve expenditures including payroll in that amount of $522,611.88.
I'll make a motion, we approve expenditures, including payroll, for $522,611.88.
Support.
Okay, the motion and the support. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Hendrick?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Rourke?
Yes.
Commissioner Ross?
Yes.
Mayor Vandenbosch?
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
On to 11A, under unfinished business, the ordinance 23006, the rapid entry Knox box ordinance, second reading and adoption. Can I have a motion to approve the second reading and adoption of ordinance 23-006? It's an ordinance of the City of Marine City, St. Clair County, Michigan, to establish key lock boxes, Title 11, Chapter 120, entitled Key Lock Boxes.
I'll make a motion, we approve ordinance number 23-006 for second reading and adoption for the rapid entry and Knox box ordinance.
Support.
Okay, motion and support. Any further discussion?
Yeah, again, just for the public's benefit, this is a means by which the fire department can gain entry into businesses. It's very good for them. You don't need to be woken in the middle of the night, and we can keep our city more safe, so that's all.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Rohr.
Yes.
Commissioner Ross.
Yes.
Mayor Vandenbosch.
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson.
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, on to new business 12, under action items A, and those are going to be our authorization to proceed in the Safe Drinking Water Revolving Fund Project, which we had seen the presentation on earlier. We're going to need to do an approval into 3 motions for this. So the first motion is the authorization to proceed with the Safe Drinking Water Revolving Fund Project. Can I have a motion to proceed with the project as detailed in the project plan, project number 785201, water main replacement, water main looping, lead service line replacement, water treatment plant upgrades, and water tower mixing equipment?
I'll make a motion that we proceed with the project as detailed in the DWSRF project plan number 7852-01, water main replacement, water main looping, lead service line replacement, water treatment plant upgrades, and water tower mixing equipment.
Support.
Support.
Okay, any other discussion? Hey, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Rohr.
Yes.
Commissioner Ross.
Yes.
Mayor Vandenbosch.
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson.
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick.
Yeah.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay.
Excuse me,
And-
Mayor, if I may, on the next one that you're going to request, I would ask for a correction that potential motion end at Eagle DWSRF milestone schedule, period. Please cross out the remaining portions on that.
Okay,
Thank you. I apologize.
thank you for that. All right, so the next motion is, can I have a motion to authorize Fleiss and Vanderbrink Engineering to proceed with the design engineering work in order to meet the Eagle DWSRF milestone schedule?
I'll make a motion to approve or to authorize Fleiss and Vandenbrink Engineering to proceed with the design engineering work in order to meet the Eagle DWSRF milestone schedule.
Support?
Okay, any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Ross.
Yes.
Mayor Vandenbosch.
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson.
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick.
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Rohr.
Yes.
Motion carried.
And now the third approval. Could I have a motion to authorize the city manager to execute the professional services agreement with Fleiss and Vanderbrink Engineering to designate the city manager as the authorized representative for the project?
I'll make a motion to authorize the city manager to execute the professional services agreement with Fleiss and Vandenbrink Engineering to designate the city manager as the authorized representative for the project.
Support.
Okay, the motion and the support. Any further discussion?
Just one question. Is there an actual agreement? I mean, will we see that?
Yeah, I will be providing an agreement at the beginning of next week.
Okay.
Share with the commission.
And
Okay.
I'll provide you with a review of that.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Anything further? A roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Bryson.
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick.
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Rohr.
Yes.
Commissioner Ross.
Yes.
Mayor Vandenbosch.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. On to item 12B. It's Police Department Axon Body Camera Purchase. Can I have a motion to approve the Police Department purchase of Axon Body Cameras in the annual amount of $6,504.32 per year for 5 years? And if we want to go ahead and have the discussion before that, we could if you wanted to present on it.
I can present them.
Okay. We'll have the chief do that.
So while I get the computer set up, you can eat your popcorn, sir. You can eat your body cam.
Thank you.
I have show and tell. So that is our current body camera there.
Don't touch it.
And I reached out to Axon, and they have provided a T&E for their body camera. If you want to pass those down, their body camera is right there in the middle. Oh, I'm sorry. This one here, if you want to pick it up, you'll see the difference in the product. It's just a better product, more sturdy, more stable, and hopefully, these have audio.
Definitely more substantial.
Did you want this to remain right here?
Oh, yeah.
What, do I want?
Big difference.
Can we pass that other thing down too, or?
Yeah, pass it all down.
Okay.
Absolutely. If it just shows you the difference, the small one is what we currently have, the camera in the bottom is what I want to go to. In 2019, we acquired the GTAC body cameras. We've got 6, we've got a multi-dock station, and we have 3 in-car cameras, all GTAC related. It's to the point now where GTAC cameras aren't lasting a full 12-hour shift. Guys are coming in, they're red batteries, they're dying. It's only a matter of time before we miss something crucial, and we're not going to be able to capture that information. So with the presentation and the quote that I've provided, if you look, there's a little line item, and every year for over the 5 years it says TAP extended warranty. What that does is in 2.5 years, Axon will actually come out and give us all brand new everything. So you're kind of paying for everything because they refurbish stuff and give it back. So in 2.5 years, we'll get all brand new stuff, which includes the multi-dock station. We currently have 6 body cameras. I'm asking for 8 because I would like one. There are times where I'm driving around, I make a traffic stop and I'm like, I don't have a body camera on me, so I'm asking for one for me as well. It includes the extended warranty. It includes all the installation for the in-cars, all IT stuff internally within the department. If you break it down, I got a little wordy when I was writing you that letter, and I didn't understand it. I read it over and over and over again, and it didn't make any sense. So the easiest way for me to explain it, Axon bills us over 5 years for this project. It's a $40,000 project, just over. You break that down, it was 8,000 something, but with a down payment of the $14,250 from Commissioner Vandenbosch, it breaks down to just about $6,500 a year. So if you do that math through GTAC, it was about $25,000 for all that equipment, and then $1,700 annually over the last 5 years. That broke down to just $6,300 or something. So we are going to pay a little bit more for this product, but what I'm about to show you kind of will help justify that on why we should get that. I'm hoping this TV has audio. And I'm hoping I can find the video.
It has audio.
It does?
You can get the video.
You're what?
It's not coming up on the TV. I think he's working on it.
I think FMB should pay for it then. While he's also doing this, also, what comes with this Axon is that officers will be able to download an app, put it right on their phone. It's an evidence.com module. They'll be able to take crime scene photos and such with their phone, put it right into this system, and then it will go right into a case file. So we can save memory on our current hard drive and computers and save up monies than having to buy new cameras every couple of years, et cetera, because we pay the guys to use their phones. They can use their phones to take some photos, which will go right in this evidence.com. The video that is not up there yet, you'll see the redaction software is a little bit different than GTAC, but with some true training on how to do this, it will be very beneficial to upgrade to Axon. So. And our technical difficulties have nothing to do with Axon. Just make that clear.
It might have to do with this ancient book of a computer I have. though.
Chief, will a charge on this, when they charge it, will it last the whole shift?
It will. So
I think that's key.
that's a great question. So with GTAC, when we first got the GTAC, they promised us that they'll last a 12 to 14-hour shift. Well, we had the settings set at 1080i, so we had crystal clear, perfect imagery, and then we were only noticing it was lasting 4 or so hours. Yeah, go ahead. It was only lasting 4 or so hours in the thing, so when I called GTAC, they were like, well, you can't have it at that setting, because of course, with that type of pixel, it's gonna suck the battery dry. So we had to change it, and it's down to the bare minimum of, I think it's 420.
We might need to use your computer.
Yeah. And just something with a thumb drive in it.
That would not be included in the water project. We may need to borrow that computer.
So,
480 is,
so it was 480, thank you. And so, you'll see it's not bad quality, but it's not the best we can get. So with Axon, it's gonna make a lot of noises, I don't want those noises. With the Axon one, we can get 720, that's gonna last 12 to 14 hours. And we shouldn't have any issues. The biggest thing for me is, you're gonna hear this, this is a scene just captured, officers dispatched to Ward Street for a suspicious person. He gets out, he activates both cameras. One is severely windy, and you'll hear that on the G-Tech. The Axon one, you don't hear any wind. And if you got a suspect in the middle of a windstorm and he confesses to you and you don't capture that, thank you. So here's what we currently have. Maybe. Somebody want to play the Jeopardy theme song right now?
There you go. There we go.
Oh, it's not coming with a TV. Well, my computer is from like 2004, so it's still trying to read it off my thumb drive. I had the same issues in my office earlier. But you can already see how pixelated it is. Sure. Somebody can stand up and sing, anybody?
How about those lions, everybody?
Does anybody have a laptop on them real quick?
May I?
Do you?
I don't have a laptop, but you've got two of them open.
We know.
there are two windows open, yeah. It could be choking on that.
I have zero patience for IT
Yeah.
stuff. I'm that guy that just sits there and clicks. Oh, there it is. If you just want to drag that arrow back.
This is Windows Vista.
It's what?
It's Windows Vista.
Is there an 8-year-old available?
Best stuff.
Somebody call the high school, somebody call the high school.
Somebody bring in one of your children quickly.
Well, just so you know, be prepared for my budget next year. We'll have a new laptop in it.
Mark that down.
Windows Vista.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Chief, you have it on flash drive, right?
I do. Do you have a?
Rick, could we possibly borrow your? We know that was a proven winner in your presentation, so.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Send the chief the bill.
Yeah, send me the bill.
$13,040.
Is this a billable charge?
Is this a pitch for a new laptop, or is this for the cameras?
Yeah.
I think there'll be another item on a future agenda for laptops.
Perfect.
For everybody. It was one of our items in the budget this year. So we'll be working on that expediently.
It's gonna be tough.
To have laptops that actually have supported OSs.
Yeah. We think the police department will be getting one of the first ones.
Yeah.
I always wanted to work for the police department.
You're hired.
You're there now.
Yeah. Raise your right hand.
Swear him in now.
Yeah, well, I haven't found it yet, so let's see here, is this it?
Yep. And then just go
you
to
want
the
the red?
redact one on the bottom. That's the first one.
Okay.
Everybody have a safe Halloween?
Oh, look at that. So, yeah,
Get a lot of candy?
Yeah, I need the IT guy to pull it up on there.
We lost it on the TV.
Help desk, help.
Is that the only USB port on there?
It might be.
How about just a
If you have
motion to
another item on
approve?
the agenda,
Well,
you
I can
have to
put
go
that.
to.
Thank
Hold on,
you.
let's
You're the big-
let's close that
you're the
out.
big show.
Oh, yeah.
Save the best for last. Just a motion to approve. I think we started to go that route.
It's a My Deal bid, right, Jim?
Yeah,
A My
it is.
Deal, this is My Deal?
This is a My,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
it's been
it's a My Deal. Exxon is vetted through My Deal.
So we don't have to waive
It
competitive
did, but it
bidding.
keeps on dropping
No
out.
pursuant to the policy.
Do we have a motion? Was there a motion?
I hate it. No, no motion was made.
Yeah, I had read the motion, but we didn't go ahead and make it.
Just try.
Fired up at first.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, if I need a
Oh, there
witness
we
to
go.
this, I showed this both to the city manager and.
Can we negotiate that they throw in a laptop?
Yeah.
Addition.
Sure.
Oh, it's up now.
They'll
Okay.
come in anticipation of this video.
Contingent upon a new laptop.
Thank you.
There.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
This is the bad one.
You hear the wind though?
Yeah.
Do the Exxons have image stabilization?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
What's going on, baby? What's that?
So this has been redacted, so you're not gonna see him or anything like that, so.
Somebody was worried about you. How much you drink? Couple shots? You got your ID with you? Do you have any ID? Have you ever had a Michigan issued identification?
Okay, so that's exhibit A. Let me get out of this. This is Exxon. His audio will not kick in. It's got a 30-second buffer to it. So he hit it, but it backs it up 30 seconds. So there is no audio associated, just the settings I currently have on it. He's calling out where he's at currently. And you'll actually hear him hit the button and activate it. You can already see the difference in the you can hear the difference, you can see the difference almost right off the get-go. Where's the volume on this? Because it's actually loud. I got it.
Does it have a better range of view?
The field of view is different, it's wider.
Wider.
Yes.
Yeah, more
I
panoramic.
can see that.
And backstory behind this is, this guy's partner took off running before we got there.
That? Not a whole lot. One Officer Murray. We want to speak with you. Somebody was worried about you.
You can hear the officer better, you can see everything better.
How much did you drink? Couple shots? You got your ID with you? Do you have AID? Have you ever had a Michigan issued identification?
So we'll pause that. And any questions? Sorry for the
No, that's good.
technical difficulties.
That's very good.
So again, the Exxon refreshes, upgrades, replaces batteries, does whatever is needed so that you've got full, usefulness out of the device annually, correct?
Every two and a half years.
Sorry.
Because right now, we're going into year 5 with GTAC and we're losing the battery. We wouldn't have this issue.
Right.
Because we're getting the extended warranty.
And you get a full shift per charge.
And we get a full shift per charge. Yep.
That's 720.
At
which is still HD.
at 720,
Right.
which, yes.
Low end HD, but it's still HD.
Yep. So we won't have any monies due from my budget until the following year. We're gonna use the 14,250 from ARPA funds from the county for the down payment on this project.
Which again, for the benefit of the public, is just a few $100 more annually than the GTEC ones were.
Yes.
Anyway.
And to help fund it, there's a computer for sale if anybody wants. Into with Windows Vista on it, apparently.
No, it's just seriously important for you guys to have the proper tools to make sure that you have the coverage
Yes.
on any of these.
It's saved. There have been plenty of people that have come in to make complaints on my officers. When I actually sit down with the complainants and play the body cam footage for these people, they realize that there's nothing there to it, and they're actually protecting the officers more than what people think they do.
Correct.
Yep.
All right, can I have the motion? Reread?
Yeah, maybe reread it.
All right. Can I have a motion to approve the police department purchase of Axon body cameras in the annual amount of $6,504.32 per year for 5 years?
I'll make a motion, we approve the purchase of the Exxon body cameras for an annual amount of $6,504.32 per year for 5 years.
Support.
Okay, the motion and the support. Any further discussion?
Just, again, to mention that it's using $14,250 worth of ARPA funds that were donated.
Correct.
From the county commission.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Hendrick.
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Rohr.
Yes.
Commissioner Ross.
Yes.
Mayor Vandenbosch.
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay. And now we're on to item 12C, the Planning Commission appointment. We had received 2 applications, 2 good applications for the position. And I'd like to make a motion to appoint Max Spade to the Planning Commission. Can I have support?
Support.
Okay, motion to support, now discussion. I want to first say thank you to the applicants, and I think Rosalie is a great applicant too. Rosalie volunteers, does great things for our community. Couldn't say enough nice things. What kind of stuck out to me with Mr. Bade is that he has history of working in municipal and parks and recs, and it's listed in his resume and his application. And going into working on the master plan right now, I thought that his experience in doing that could be utilized as well.
Good problem to have, having too many qualified candidates.
Yes.
That's about all I can say. And thanks to everybody who applied.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Rohr.
Yes.
Commissioner Ross.
Yes.
Mayor Vandenbosch.
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson.
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Right, on to item 13A, the city attorney's report.
Commissioners, about a year ago, I issued you a fairly detailed memo on the charter revision and review process. Today, I reissued that to who I think is on the charter committee so far. Brian, I know I sent you an email, and Lisa, I sent you an email. Jacob, are you the third member? Yes.
Yes, I am.
What we'll do is we'll go back and check the minutes to see who I just don't remember. I don't remember who the
It's been so
third member
long.
was. Yeah, so anyways, start looking at the material. Citizen Mr. O'Brien had also expressed interest to me about the charter process, so I want the commissioners to know I provided him with some deep reading for his pleasure. A weighty document. And the interest was sincere, so I gave him some information to read on general city charters and the amendment process. So we should dust that off and be prepared to work on that in 2024.
Right, thank you. 13B for the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. First of all, again, condolences, Commissioner Hendrick and Commissioner Roaring. Your mother was an excellent steward of our community, so I'm sure she'll be missed, not just by your family, but condolences to you and your family. Also, a reminder, fall, as we know, is officially here. You walk out in the morning or in the evening, you can feel it, and there are very few leaves left, so if you missed the colors, I'm sorry. They were there briefly, and then the wind took them away, which means they are all over our streets, and we'd ask for our residents to please assist the city in not raking the leaves into the roadway and over the catch basins, because we know we yet should have some rain before we get snow, and it will not drain properly. So any assistance that our residents can give us in not covering those catch basins or helping keep those clean, greatly appreciated. And you probably have seen that when we have had some decent weather, albeit cold, the city DPW has a sweeper out, and we're trying to keep those streets clean, and they've been working aggressively in the past couple of weeks around the weather to do that. So any help would be greatly appreciated. To our applicants, to our boards, committees, and commissions, thank you. We appreciate that. And we are reviewing the additional boards, committees, and commissions. We believe there are going to be some other openings in various boards, committees, and commissions coming up. So we will be, again, asking for folks to consider giving their time for those. We have resumed a lot of work on ordinance amendments and reviews that will be coming back in front of the City Commission here that were kind of in a hold pattern, as well as policies and procedures. And I have started a draft on a city commission and also board committee and commission handbook that we've talked about that will have copies of the city charter, copies for the commission of bargaining unit contracts, and a nice guide for important statutory pieces that'll work with the city attorney on, Open Meetings Act, some of those key pieces that we look at, Planning and Enabling Act. And I think that, again, I think it gave a little warning that it could be about a 3-inch binder or more, but I think you'll all be pleased with that. And we also want to share that with the various committees as those pieces apply to them. For instance, Planning Commission have a copy of that Planning Enabling Act and other key components with nice little tabs. And it also gives us a little green check mark on our redevelopment ready checklist of moving forward, and be a great training tool as we have transitions between boards, committees, and commissions. So it won't be an overnight process. It'll take a couple of months to get all of that put together for review by the commission and hopefully getting your blessing and green light. But there's a lot of work going on and activities, and I appreciate your patience as we're putting it all together, and I'll have it for you as soon as we can. So a lot of flurry of work and activity going on, but I just wanted to give you an update. So thank you all very much. And last piece, I believe coming up very soon, like this, potentially this next weekend, we're gonna have a little movement of the clocks. So remember to do the fall back. Thank you.
One question for you. As far as the leaves, somebody had a post online that they were looking for in our chart, and I couldn't find it either. The rules about blowing the snow or the leaves into the street. If there's some way we could post that so people can read it.
In the chart?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't.
I don't believe it's in the charter, but it is in our code of ordinances, and we'll post the winter snow regulations as far as parking and cleaning. And then also, and I've run into this before, and actually the clerk and I were talking today, where we may not have a specific ordinance about leaves and grass and debris into the roadway, under the Uniform Traffic Code, there actually is provision in the state traffic code that says it is illegal to put debris into the roadway for safety purposes. But we'll put together a nice little slide and be able to try to get that, not just on CTV, but on the website too.
Yeah, because somebody was looking for it, and I just wanted to make sure that we could cover it. I just couldn't find anything.
Yeah, I'll work on putting those together.
Yep.
I would think wet leaves in the road would be a big safety hazard.
Yeah.
Or breaking.
Water
and
and drainage.
so much, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Thank you.
Under 13C, reports from department heads.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
A couple things, if you guys are out and about or anybody, citizens stop in, with the transition with Jason being the city clerk, they left a vacancy there at the PD. I've been hearing some scuttlebutt that some people have been there and the doors have been locked. yes, it's kind of normal, but it bothers me that we're not getting that type of service. Went out and hired a part-time clerk to sit in that role. Should be working Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays. So you guys are on about, stop in, say hi. Also taken possession of the other new police car next week, I believe. So that will be pushing the service, kind of just a kind of sister car to what we currently have. Going through a project right now, updating all the firearms to a newer firearm with the red dot technology on the guns. That'll be under 2,000, all well within my budget. With all the trade-in values of all my current guns that I've got, it'll be under 2,000. With that, we'll get all new holsters also under 2,000. And that's about it for me.
Mayor, if you'll just let, Chief, for our conversation we had earlier today too, we had discussion about budgetary pieces on this clerk position. I just want everyone to know, we've discussed that. There is no budgetary adjustment or change or increase. We had already, or you had already passed a budget that had accounted for Jason as a full-time position there and accounted for a part-time position here at City Hall. So budgetarily, it's really just a swap, and I think that's important. Chief and I talked about that today, so it does fall within the budget that was approved.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Slankster, did you have anything?
I'm good. Thank you.
All right.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
if I may real quick. Just a couple updates. We have our October burial count at Woodlawn Cemetery, 3 full burials, 4 urn burials. 2 of those were in the columbarium. I do have a meeting. It's a project kickoff meeting with Granicus regarding our peak agenda meeting minute software. November 9th, this is just gonna go over, we're gonna meet our team, go over project goals for the project, and kind of get in line our agenda, the way we have it, kind of fit their software, go through minute format, agenda format, and kind of get this project rolling. In speaking with them after the approval, we signed the agreement. Kickoff date on this, probably March 1st. So it'll move a little slow. They were 5 to 8 weeks out on it. They're doing some shuffling there at Granicus, but also trying to fit in with the holidays coming up and also our great presidential primary coming up early part of next year, whether it's February 27th or March 12th. We're unsure yet, but if it's February 27th, kind of want to get through that, and then we can kind of kick this project off. But there will be little meetings thrown in there between now and then. And last thing is, with the elections coming up, potentially there are 4 statewide elections next year, February, May, August, November. We're not sure if there's gonna be anything on May, but it is scheduled for statewide election. And again, February's presidential primary scheduled now for February 27th, but there is an asterisk next to that it could be March 12th. The state legislature wrote that into the law that the first one could be moved, depending on where they see fit. And then I think from there on out, every other presidential primary would be, I believe, that last Tuesday in February.
right.
There will be 9 days of early voting for every election next year now with the passing of Proposal 2 last year. With that, we will be sending out pamphlets or flyers with the winter tax bills, kind of highlighting those 9 days that will be available for early voting here at city offices. It'll be on our social media, Facebook page, and our website. So we want to make sure we communicate that to the residents and the voters of the city. And as we go on throughout the year, we'll keep sending reminders, quarterly water bills, as we get to the August primary and November general election. So, and with that being said, internally with what we have now, election inspector-wise and city staff that are going to help with elections, because I think it's going to be all hands on deck. Once we gauge that on who can work what, if anybody is interested in the public or anybody else, on the board or anything that would like to help with elections, work early voting, be an election inspector, please come sign up. There are applications available in city offices. And if it is not online, I'll double check that tomorrow. If it's not online, I'll make sure I put that online. But we'd love to have you out to help us and become an election inspector for the city. And that is all I have.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so now we'll move on to 14, Commissioner Privilege and Liaison Reports, and we'll start with Commissioner Clausen.
Well, I've known Rita a long time, and my condolences to her family and everybody that knew her that well. I met her first when she was Ivor Township supervisor. And I've known her for a long time, and she also filled in as an alternate city manager for times here in Marine City when I was the building inspector here. She was a proud and honest person, listened to people, and got the job done. I also would like to say that the 21st of November is the Santa Parade. And we're already got the float out and getting ready to do that. And we're going to have the same Santa Claus as last year. He was a volunteer. He likes to sled. He likes to sit in the sled. So he wants to do it every year. So, but I know when we start the parade that I don't have to get there till 7:30 because the parade starts at 7, but by the time I get rolling, it's 7:30. So, everybody enjoy the holidays and be careful. This cold weather is coming on us fast, and there's a lot of areas going on and things going on. I've had other offices that I work through that we've got people that are getting COVID. I've taken a test yesterday, the negative, so I'm fine. But it's just, you just have to watch who's coming around and what's going around. And I know our election workers in all the cities I'm working in are worried about their election workers getting sick. So, and that's all I have.
So, first, again, Lisa, Rita, I'm sorry for your loss. It's never an easy thing, but, it is an unfortunate thing. So again, my condolences. And other than that, just to kind of piggyback on what our city manager said, if you have a storm drain in front of your house, take a couple minutes, just scoop the leaves out of it, really help to get the storm water down the drain instead of pooling out in the road. So that's it for me.
Thank you. Commissioner Ross?
All right. Again, my sincerest condolences, Lisa and Rita. And Rosalie, thank you for giving us all some background on what a wonderful woman Rita was. I found that very nice. To piggyback on what else was said too, yes, leaves are falling. Also remember, weather's getting colder. Don't forget to winterize your outdoor faucets. Turn them off from the inside or put a styrofoam cover over them or some way to keep them from freezing. Thank you to all the applicants and people who have stepped forward to participate in your local government. I wholeheartedly agree that your local government is the most important thing that affects you personally. And we are here for you. We want to hear from you and want to, fulfill what you feel makes this city great. For the Santa Parade, I think I'm going to be entering a tractor in it this year if they've held me to my word from last year, and I will be voicing it with Paul as well on Channel 6. Thanks to Sherry Becker, Nicole Kirby, Robin Smith-Hare, who are the principals of Marine City High, Middle, and Bell River Elementary, and Jeannie Burris Johnson, Michelle Nichter, Heather Bachram, for the letters of support for our $2.5 million grant. Did you write one too, Laura? And Laura. All great things to go into this $2.5 million grant. It's letters of support, which the city manager informed us has been extended. Sadly, we won't hear on this until, I believe, December. But nonetheless, people came out of the woodwork to support this, and I think it's a great thing. This is, of course, to make our property at 300 Broadway into a community center. Again, thank you guys for all the help. We have not one but 2 high schools in this town that are going to the playoffs. Not only Marine City, but also Cardinal Mooney are playing in playoffs right now. I think both have games tomorrow night. No, Marine City has a game tomorrow night, but I'm not entirely sure about Cardinal Mooney. Nonetheless, what a great town to live in where you have 2 football teams in the playoffs. That is all. Everybody be safe. And again, reach out to us if you need anything. Thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner Roy.
Hi. I just wanted to say to please remember, like Scott said, the horrible changing of the clocks this weekend. Not to put in how I feel about it, but. And then I'd also, on behalf of myself and my family, I'd like to thank everyone for their kind thoughts and prayers for the recent passing of Rita M. Rohrig. My mom will be missed as a parent and as someone who truly cared about the community. And thank you, Rosalie. And that's all.
Commissioner Hendricks.
All right. And I just want to thank everybody for all their kind words. She was something, her and I had been going to these meetings since she moved up here in '95, I think. And she went to these meetings up to the time she was 90. She lived to 98. She lived a good life. She did a lot of things. She always cared about her community. She always cared about money and transparency, and she always listened. And she was a great mom to all of us, and we're really going to miss her. Thanks.
Right, and again, my condolences. Thank you. Lost your mom. Great woman. I wanted to thank engineers Fleiss and Vanderbrink for coming and doing that presentation for us this evening. I think that once the public, everybody's be able to watch that as well, they'll just learn, and thankful for such a project because we're getting the water lines fixed, the streets fixed, and that's a great project. And again, the city manager discussed the way we can try to offset some of these costs in the meantime, and we'll continue to look at those ways to offset the costs for everybody. I think, again, like Brian had said, the local applicants for boards, commissions, and there may be vacancies coming up again, and we do need help with the elections, so if anybody's able, please apply for those. Rosalie, thank you again for your applying. And you weren't able to be here the last meeting for the proclamation for your volunteerism, but truly you are a treasure to our community and the things that you do and your time and the things you put in at your own cost, and that we are grateful for everything that you do, so thank you very much. All right, and with that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Thank you, Rosalie.